So is it that the conversation that should be had, Bwana PS? Because even as we talk about, well, let's make sure that all the nuts and bolts that are needed for internal mechanization happen. However, there should be a greater regional conversation being had. And are those not the policies then that we should be talking about here? Because I see, if you're saying that intra-Africa trade is
15%.
Is 15%.
Yes.
If you want to compare it with other continental trade like Europe, it
70%,
it triples in number. But that's because their policy laid down from the very beginning made the environment conducive that why does Denmark have to think about trading with Kenya when they can trade with Switzerland, when they can trade with Norway, when they can trade with the United Kingdom, like that? And they've made it easy. Shouldn't we be thinking then about these policies?
If you think about, and I think the president has been quite eloquent on that Africa, in terms of where we are in a hole. But we continue to dig, and that's what if you listen to him, that's what he has been saying. We are not trading with each other, but we have the East African community. Remember, one of the things that we've had as Africa is creating institutions that have not been effective in helping us. So you have the EAC in the southern part, they have SADC, you have COMESA, you have ECOWAS, but a lot of them end up being more like, for lack of a better word, talk shops. And so you can see, because why do I say that? You have an African continental free trade area where basically, theoretically Africans should be trading with each other. 55 of us. So the countries in Africa have signed an agreement to do trade with each other. But there's another agreement that has been sitting on the table that has not been signed, called the free movement of people. So we have signed to trade, but we have refused to sign
for people to move.
So I'm asking, how is trade going to move if people can't move? I mean, it doesn't make logic, but that's who we are.
What are those bottlenecks? What is making those conversations not happen concurrently?
Remember, we have a recent colonial history, and part of that history was that we didn't quite trust each other. There was the element of divide and rule, that because if you look at the boundaries that we have between you and me, those boundaries were not created by you and me. They were created by somebody else for a different purpose. In Europe, of course, you can see that if you are a member of the European Union, they no longer have control immigration. You can drive from Belgium to Netherlands without any stop. But here you find that we still have a lot of borders, we have a lot of control. And so you can almost say that the people who gave us the boundaries have abandoned them, but we are stuck with them. I can see that the president, if you realize, one of the things he has done every time he goes to an African country is to say, let's remove his visas. And one of my questions has always been, we are calling it an African Union. So why do I need a visa to go to Senegal? It's a union. We are together. We are in this why do I need... let me tell you one example. One morning I woke up at 5 o'clock. I had an early flight to Djibouti. And I go to the airport and as I'm checking in, I'm asked, where is your visa? I said, a visa to where? They said, to Djibouti. I said, okay. I didn't realize that. So you've woken up at 3 a.m. for a 5 o'clock flight, then you realize you can't. So I'm told, okay, go back, you have to get this visa. And what does it involve? And I'm not demeaning anyone, we all do these things. But then, so you go online, you apply, you pay 50 euros, and within a minute you have I don't know, is it the money? What are we looking for? And so as Africa, and we are part of this problem as Kenya, I think that we have quite a bit of rethinking and conversation to say, what is it that we really need to do to grow our economies? Because nobody's going to grow this for us. So we need that conversation. And I am happy that the president has taken it up. You can see why on Saturday we were in Mombasa, and there was the issue of the visa of the Congolese. They're importing goods through Mombasa, but you need a visa to come and clear your goods. And so they're arguing, how? And why would I need? And so my visa has expired and my goods have not arrived, or I'm